Yo, what is going on, guys? Still another day. Not really feeling too great today. Have some type of bug. Don't know what it is. But I want to get some news out for you guys. It's been kind of crazy since it's the end of the regular season. We get into some of the other news when it comes to coaching changes, interest from other teams, and, want to talk about that Eagles-Giants game a little bit, Jalen Hurts, and really a couple other things that go into next week. And since the Eagles are on a big rest week this week for that number one seed, so let's get straight into all of it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. There's definitely a couple of things I definitely want to go over, and I think one is it looks like Shane Steichen is going to be a hot commodity when it comes to being a head coach for a football team. Looks like the Texans, the Colts have a lot of interest as of right now, and the Panthers have already begun their process of not just Shane Steichen, but a lot of coaches for interviews. And Shane Steichen already has 3 interviews. 3 already. So potentially, I think the only way Shane Steichen really stays is if they probably win a chip with him. I think that's the only way he really does stay. But you never know what could happen. And this is what's going to happen at the end of the year. Best team in the NFC, best record in the NFC. And there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to have interest. The Cardinals could have interest. There's a lot of teams out there. The Titans are looking for an offensive coordinator. I mean, who knows if Shane's going to be a head coach or a coordinator, but it looks like for a head coaching job. We already heard the news about Jonathan Gannon. I mean, really for Jonathan Gannon, the only team that I've really heard so far that has the top interest is the Texans as of right now, because they really missed an opportunity this past year when they hired Lovie Smith. And I really thought Jonathan Gannon was going to sign a big deal with them as the new head coach for the Texans. So potentially, like I said, we've been looking at this. I understand we have to focus on playoffs, but you got to look at these other rumors that are coming out, and these interviews are going to be coming like wildfire. And Shane Steichen already has 3 interviews, or at least not 3 interviews, but 3 teams have already called for Shane Steichen already for an interview. Now, we don't know if the interviews are going to be accepted or, that's the next step to all of this. So, we're going to be, obviously these coaches are going to be busy this past next, few weeks. The longer we play and the better we play, that's where it's going to happen. So, which gets me really into next week, okay? Whatever team we are facing, whatever the case may be. And I think one of the biggest issues right now is right tackle. I think with Jack Driscoll. Driscoll is 100% not going to be the future at right tackle. I thought maybe a year or two ago, I thought there was a lot of promise. There was health issues. There was, I honestly thought really high about him. Even when he started for, Lane Johnson his rookie year when he was taken out of the game, and I thought he did a pretty good job, and I thought there was some promise there, but unfortunately, I just don't think this is going to be the answer going forward. And this is what really made me mad in that Giants-Eagles game, okay? What made me really pissed about this whole situation with our line, the protection was not good that game, okay? There was almost a free man on every single play getting through that line, okay? If your quarterback in Jalen Hurts was really that hurt and in that much pain in that game, you didn't line up any tight end on the right side with Driscoll. You didn't account for a free man. There was almost a free man, not even necessarily a blitzer. There was almost a free man going after Jalen Hurts every single play. I watched some videos on Brian Baldy. I rewatched the game last night a little bit, and I was just like, man, there was a free runner almost every single play yesterday. I mean, a couple of days ago against the Giants. Almost. And I mean, you're trying to protect your quarterback, and Steichen, you're trying to protect him, and apparently a lot of people think Nick kind of opened his mouth too much about this shoulder, and he was in a lot of pain for this game, which, I thought I saw that he was in a little bit of pain, but was it more than we thought, or it was more serious than we thought it was? Because I didn't think it was going to be that serious, but maybe it was. And the rumor was Jalen Hurts pushed the coaching staff to play in this game, but the ultimatum was pretty much like, you're going to have to follow guidelines. We're going to have to handicap you in this game so you don't get hurt. But what did Shane Steichen do in this game to really protect Hurts? Because he still got hurt. He still got hit a good amount of times in this game. I mean, Martindale for the Giants, as good as a defensive coordinator he is, he will blitz second, third down does not care. He will blitz every third down. It does not matter. He's that aggressive, and he just kept doing it. So if you're going to beat the Eagles in the playoffs, it's making it pretty damn easy that if the Eagles aren't going to put a tight end to Driscoll's side, or the running back is going to go out for a pass and not, pick up those blitzes, it's going to be a free shot on Jalen Hurts, which really sucks, because we're going to see what type of Eagles team we see next week, okay? We're going to see what type of Eagles team we definitely see. Is it going to be a team that's going to play too cautious going to the playoffs? Because like I said, remember, a lot of teams, when they don't use what they use from the regular season to beat teams in the playoffs. Just like the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017. A prime example is Doug Peterson. Okay? Nick Foles had a really bad game against the Raiders, and the last game before we got first seed, pretty much. And most fans were wanting to bench Nick Foles after that game and put Nate Sudfeld in there. Okay, and then the Eagles went back, looked at tape and the RPO system. They had him under center way too much, and they wanted to take more tape when he was at Kansas City, when he was with the Eagles with Chip Kelly in 2013. A lot of different tape. But Doug Peterson always, even in those playoff games, he used and stayed aggressive in those games, because most teams go into the playoffs off really good records and they change the whole entire way they play. Okay, I thought in 2018 the Rams did the same thing as the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I thought they did the same exact thing. A monstrous regular season. You get into the playoffs, it's a clean slate for all teams. But what type of Eagles team are we going to see? I don't want him to change too much, but your protection should be really good. Lane Johnson is coming back, but how long is he going to be in these games? There's rumors about, with that torn abdomen, that he's going to be taking injections before these games. And can Lane Johnson last more than a game? I have no idea. I really hope so, but that injury is, you got to be one tough MF to really play in these games like that. I mean, your abdomen muscles are always moving, even when you're going to have those defensive ends hitting you pretty much every single play, and your muscles are moving constantly, abdomen wise. So is he always going to be in pain? Can he last more than a game with this injury? Getting him back is going to be great, but how long is he going to last? If he can last 3 games, great. But Driscoll is not playing well. I don't think he's the answer at right tackle. I didn't think he would play this bad. I thought with more reps with the ones, with Lane being out, I thought he would play better and better and better and better. But it just seems like, it's not going to happen. Don't say they're going to put Mulata at right tackle. Not going to happen. Don't make 2 issues in your offensive line. I mean, I would rather have the right tackle out than Jalen Hurts' blind side gone, than his blind side being out. You know what I mean? I would rather have that, because Jalen Hurts was at least able to see on that side. But Shane Steichen really didn't have a good game plan. You want to protect your quarterback, you let him play, then you want to try to protect him, and you did nothing to protect him in that game. Nothing. There was a free man every single play going after Jalen Hurts. Most of the game. No running back was picking that up. They didn't line up a tight end to Jack Driscoll's side. They did nothing to help Jalen Hurts in that game, which really kind of pissed me off. So, like I said, I don't know what team we're going to be seeing in the playoffs. I don't know what type of Eagles, how much are they changing? You know what I mean? Because in a couple weeks, guys, I better see a lot of Miles Sanders. I better see Jalen Hurts I better see him rest up and be 100% for this game, at least 98% for this game. I don't care what it is. Do not treat, you take that read option from Jalen Hurts, you have a very vanilla, basic, non-explosive offense. And the other thing that I can't stand is, why aren't they throwing midfield? Why don't I see slants midfield? Besides that A.J. Brown catch that broke the record for Mike Quick's receiving yard record in a season, Like, I saw nothing midfield, which really just, like, why? The wide receiver screens are just too much. You know what I mean? It's already enough. You're not, I better see a lot of Miles Sanders. I better see him get 18 to 22 carries in this playoff game. I'm not even kidding. With the rest that we're getting, potentially could have Avonte Maddox back, potentially could have Lane Johnson back. This is what we needed. And to be honest with you, I don't even care if Avonte Maddox shows up or not, because I like Chauncey Gardner in the nickel. I like him at both positions, and I have a lot of faith in Reed Blankenship. These linebackers, would I like to see Nakobe Dean? What we say this every damn game, sure, but at the same time, like, I know both these linebackers can't cover worth of anything. The run support's all right. The tackling's got to get better from that Giants game. I understand that game we had to do bare minimum just to get something done to win the East and get the number 1 seed. But there was just some things that really pissed me off. I think the number one thing that really made me mad was, since Lane Johnson's out for this game, the Giants just wanted to, these backups, when backups start to get into these games for the Giants or for teams in general, they're going to give it their all. They're not going to lay down for the Eagles. But the protection was horrible. Trying to protect Hurts was horrible. They did absolutely nothing. So what? They thought that, it's okay to move Jalen Hurts with his legs as long as he doesn't get positive yards. He doesn't see those lanes. We're not going to make him, run through those lanes. But you're not going to line up another tight end to help block. You're not going to chip and help Driscoll. You're not going to, every running back is not going to chip or give Jalen Hurts more protection. If you need to protect your quarterback, you didn't do that. Like, he got hit a good amount of times to the point where I was like, Jesus, like they had these guys in for 4 quarters. I mean, I was hoping that it was going to take like middle third quarter and then put backups in. That's what I thought was going to happen. I hope Shane doesn't change his game plan too much. I really hope so. I really hope not, because we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in a lot of trouble. This is being emotional, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't like what I saw from that Giants game. I understand they did the bare minimum to win. I understand they didn't give away their playbook. I understand all of that, because I was saying that all game. I was like, and the Eagles are trying not to give up their whole playbook, offense and defensively. But I'm seeing a different defense every single week. It's got consistency at times, and then they stray away from the path. That's on defense, and then on offense, it's like, I understand that they could have saved Miles Sanders. They gave more carries to Gainwell and Boston Scott, and just did a little bit more just because they want to, save some reps for Miles Sanders at the end of the year, for the playoffs. I totally get it if that is the plan. You know what I mean? But if Jalen Hurts was going into that game last week in a lot of pain, and you didn't even like try to help him like with protection, it just annoys me. It just really annoys me. So what is Shane Steichen going to do going forward? I mean, I have more praise for this offense going to the playoffs than this defense, because with the defense, I don't know what we're going to get. But at least with the offense, we have a chance, because Jalen Hurts could run. I mean, that's the only, really, I mean, if Jalen Hurts couldn't run, obviously, we wouldn't have a chance. That's why Minshew probably was going to start last week. No joke. Before Jalen Hurts was like, just put me in there. I'll follow whatever guidelines I have to follow to stay healthy in this game. That's why he didn't run through those gaps. That's why he didn't, remember how many times he rolled out to the right? Same thing from last year, rolling out to the right, treating him like they treated him pretty much last year, but putting more of a safety hazard on him. Look at all the space he had in front of him at certain times. He still didn't run. He was still trying to pass the ball. So obviously the Eagles were really just handicapping him that whole entire game against the Giants. So like I said, the offense, the defense, Jack Driscoll, being one of the biggest problems going to the playoffs, and and just seeing what happens. So I hope they do a better job with this offense. I hope they do a better job with protecting Hurts as well, and hopefully Lane Johnson will be able to play, after this week. Getting all that rest is going to be huge for the Eagles. The Eagles need it badly. Like I said, the only way the Eagles are going to lose games is if they shoot themselves in the foot, and they've done that plenty of times this year. Sometimes they've recouped from it, and sometimes, it was too late, you know what I mean, to fix these mistakes. But this is the perfect week for these coaches to reflect on themselves, the perfect week for these players to get better, And this is the perfect week just for Jalen Hurts to get the guys going and get prepared. These playoff games are running through Philadelphia, and it's a very exciting thing. It's a very exciting time. You have a top 10 pick going in next year. You won the division. You have the number 1 seed. I mean, you made ultimate moves. It's been almost a perfect year for the Philadelphia Eagles, but the job is not done yet. From what Jalen Hurts has said, you know how he is. He's not going to give up, and this isn't the end. Just getting the number 1 seed doesn't. It's not the end of the road. Like, they still got games to play and to make it to the big game if they could do it. So it's going to be on these coaches, man. The coaches kind of designate where this team goes, and I really hope they really open their eyes. There's a lot of things I can go on a list of things that they need to do in the playoffs, and certain things need to happen to be successful. We've seen sample size games this year where, if you don't run with Miles Sanders enough in the first half, you're not passing midfield, you're not using the middle of the field. Stop with these wide receiver screens. You have more weapons. You could do double tie-in sets. You can add more pass catchers for Jalen Hurts. There's just so much more you could do with this offense, and hopefully Steichen isn't playing conservative, and he's going to try to be as safe as possible. I don't care what that shoulder looks like for Jalen Hurts in a couple weeks. They better unleash him and Miles Sanders. No joke. And these wide receivers are going to ball out. So that's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm hoping. It's not Shane is not going to stop himself from certain things. So, like I said, not feeling too great. Might do a stream tonight, might do one tomorrow just to get something in, because I definitely want to talk to you guys about, obviously, just this bye week in general and just enjoying it and, looking forward to a lot of different things. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this game. What do the Eagles have to do? Do you think the Eagles are going to be more aggressive in the playoffs, obviously with more of a healthy Jalen Hurts and getting Lane Johnson back? Do you think Shane is going to be conservative? Are you afraid of the offense being more conservative? You guys let me know about the defense as well, but you guys let me know on everything. And I'll see you guys on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.